with the Central Asia, and what were the results of this connections on Indian subcontinent. Okay, so this is again the second part of your post-Mauryan period. Fine. Now let us start. But before starting, as our ritual says us, let us first redefine our timeline. Okay, so firstly it was Stone Age. Okay, again I would suggest you revise every now and then so that you won't forget. Again, Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Chalcolithic. Okay, sorry, before Chalcolithic it's Neolithic and then Chalcolithic. After Chalcolithic we came for the Vedic Age. After that the Mahajanapadas. During Mahajanapadas we saw how Magad state became the most significant or most strongest state of the from other Mahajanapadas. After that we have also seen the significant Mauryan dynasty or the Mauryan Empire. Okay, dynasty is the little thing, but being an empire, it was a quite significant thing for Indian subcontinent. And during this we saw that how Ashokan edicts talk about the ancient India or that present India. The present India means the present India during the ancient times. Okay, it talks about what were the administrative decisions. Okay, it talks about what were the cultural upliftment that was done by the kings in this society. Okay, now after the Mauryan period we came for the post-Mauryan age. Now the post-Mauryan age we would be studying right from 600 BCE to 300 CE. Okay, so here we would be discussing all the contemporary issues, all the contemporary activities that would be developing through all this period. Okay, so here in the post-Mauryan period we would be studying emergence of the different religions like Buddhism, then Jainism. Okay, after that the political fragmentation of the unified Indian subcontinent. Okay, and after that the socio-economic conditions, of the people, of the common man. Okay, and after that we would be also studying about the land system, how land system got changed. Okay, now this in the socio-economic condition and in the political fragmentation we are pursuing presently the context of the major four foreign invaders to Indian subcontinent. Okay, so let us start with our today's discussion. Okay, now see the map. Okay, now see, the first were the Indo-Greek people who invaded India from the northwest region. Now firstly they rightly started from the Bactrian kingdom. Okay, and then they came to Afghanistan, and then they crossed the Indus river, and after crossing the river in future they went up till the Ganga valley. Okay, crossing the Mathura. So during this period you will get that more than Pataliputra, Mathura would be getting more prominence as the capital. Okay, so explicitly it is not being declared as a capital up till yet, but it would be getting that significance in the near future. Okay, by the foreign invaders. Okay, so here you will see that the Indo-Greeks are being spreaded, okay, right from the north, especially the Afghanistan region, okay, the Central Asian region, and up to the mouth of the Indus. Okay, and here it would be spreading up till the present Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and here in the east up till Bihar. Okay, so the Indo-Greeks remained in India for the larger period of the time. In fact, they had more than centuries to be staying in Indian subcontinent. Okay, so Indo-Greeks were very significant and they would be making a high impact on Indian subcontinent, Indian socio-cultural livelihood. Okay, so here just take into consideration the mapping or the locations of the geographical places where you need to assess the significant expansion of the Indo-Greek Empire. Okay, so here you will see that the Sindhu river, Ujjain would be also under the Indo-Greek kingdom. Pataliputra would be also under the Indo-Greek kingdom. Mathura, okay, the Sagala, the Takshashila University. Okay, so all these were the important and the significant cities were under the Indo-Greek kingdom. Okay, so here this border, okay, the dotted border, okay, the dotted border represents that the Indo-Greek had the common economy. Okay, after that the solid border, okay, the solid border is the wealth which constitutes the source region of Indo-Greeks. Okay, so the trading continued up till here. Okay, the economical relations continued up till here, but the source region was this. Okay, the source region was this. Fine. So let us begin. Now here you can see the coins that were used during the Indo-Greek tradings. Okay, so it was for the first time. Okay, now why this invasions we need to study? Because it made the huge impact on the economy of India's agriculture as well as the trades. Okay, so here Indo-Greek culture is very necessary to study. Firstly, it made on the effect on our Indian agriculture, Indian economy, Indian trade. Secondly, it made an impact on the Indian culture and art. Okay, so here just try to overlook on these coins. Okay, now these coins are the simply metal coins made up of copper, okay, lead and silver. Okay, so here you will be accessing the symbols. Okay, the alphabetic symbols, they are in the Roman language. Okay, see here, he is the emperor, okay, which is depicted on the coin. See, the animals are also being depicted, elephant, than the bull. Okay, so these are different variations of the coins that we have gone through the excavations. Okay, now whenever we study Indo-Greeks or either Sakas or Parthians or Kushanas, so here we must firstly focus upon the trading connections. Why? Because they came to Indian subcontinent due to the disturbances that were present in the external regions. Like for example, if you see the map of Indian subcontinent, okay, so this is suppose the map of Indian subcontinent. Here it's China. Okay, here it is China. Now after building the China wall, okay, let's suppose this is China wall. Okay, this is China wall. Now what happened after building this China wall? Okay, now here there were residing Iran people, right? Okay, there were residing Greek people. Okay, Bactrian people. Okay, so here and Scythian also. Okay, and Scythian also. So what happened, as the Great Wall of China was built during that time, okay, the Scythians had to move here. Okay, and the pressure of the migration of the Scythians was put on this community, on this region. Now this is not a simple pressure, this is the pressure on the distribution of resources also, and that is why it was made compulsory for the Indo-Greek people to move to some another place, and that is why Indo-Greek people came to the Indian subcontinent, right? So this is the history behind the coming or the initiation of the Indo-Greek dynasty or the Indo-Greek empire in Indian subcontinent. So it was the reason. The reason is the building of the Great Wall of China. Okay, so after the building that Great Wall of China, we'll see that the Indo-Greek people would be invading Indian subcontinent. Okay, so it is for the first time that any single power is crossing Hindu Kush region. Okay, any single power is crossing Hindu Kush region, that is the Indo-Afghan region. Okay, now after this, the second reason was the Seleucid Empire in the west was also weak, and as it was weak, it could not sustain the distribution of the resources among the high population. Now this is the period when the geographical condition would be also very favorable for the development or for increasing of the population. Okay, so here you would be seeing that in Indian subcontinent also the population was quite increasing. Okay, here the distribution of the resource was major question in front of a king. Okay, so the similar case was applied to the western regions also, and that is why you will see that when the Seleucid Empire would become weak, okay, that time they would be unable to provide the livelihood or the opportunities to its common man. Okay, although there were no citizenship like formula, there were no constitutions and nothing, but yet this kingdom used to be following some of the policies and the programs in order to provide the basic livelihood amenities to this people. Okay, so these kingdoms were weaker to provide the basic livelihood, and that is why Indo-Greeks invaded Indian subcontinent. Okay, so there were major two rulers from the Indo-Greek. First is the Menander. Okay, now the Menander is quite favorite ones of the Indo-Greek people. Okay, now the Menander will get up with the Nagarjuna. Okay, he will contact the Nagarjuna. Now the story is quite interesting in history. If you go in the stories where especially the Jataka tales, or if you see the historical stories has some of the basic literature. Okay, now the Jataka tales is somewhat from the Sutta Pitaka, okay, of the Buddhist literature. Okay, now this is not related to this, but yes, we have some of the evidences of this in the Buddhist text. Okay, but yes, you can note that we get the evidences from Sutta Pitaka. Okay, we get the evidences from Sutta Pitaka. Okay, and in the Sutta Pitaka we have Jataka tales. Jataka tales, which tells about every of the societal aspect, because if you see on the inscription on the coins, you will find the administrative setup or the administrative data or the information, but these are the tales which tells about every aspect of the society, every condition of the society of a common man. Okay, so here you will see that the Menander, when he will arrive in India, okay, after 165 BC, okay, he would be meeting Nagarjuna. Okay, now the Nagarjuna was one of the minister in the court. Okay, so this Nagarjuna would be meeting this Menander and would be asking n number of questions, like what is Buddhism, how to follow the Buddhism, what are the principle of Buddhism, what is Eightfold Path, and why we need to follow the Eightfold Path, what are the Four Noble Truths. Okay, so all kind of questions this Menander will ask this Nagarjuna, and Nagarjuna would be answering each of this question. Okay, now the conversation between these two people, the Nagarjuna and the Menander, is known as the Milinda Panho. Okay, in fact the UPSC had asked the question around this Milinda Panho also. Okay, so the conversation between these two, the king of the Indo-Greek king and the Nagarjuna, is being recited in the Milinda Panho. Okay, now the next significant feature of this Indo-Greek is Hellenistic art. So what is Hellenistic art? I would be showing you with